What's up, YouTube? It's JP Dunphy, your BMW genius and after sales manager here at BMW Fort Washington. Um, yeah, so just announced BMW's 2025 3 Series and M3 details have now been released. Now, if you saw my overview of the 2025 4 Series and M4, it's basically kind of a copy and paste between the two. So massive updates, honestly, not really. I'm a little personally surprised about it altogether because I was expecting this to be more of a complete overhaul, brand new model altogether, similar to the new 2025 X3 and, situations like that. For whatever reason, that's not happening today. So slightly disappointed by that. But at the other side of it, I'm like, okay, BMW is also putting a lot of money into their Neue class coming out, later 2025, early 2026. So it sort of makes sense that they may look for ways to kind of, consolidate what they already have and just kind of make minor improvements here and there, suspension adjustments, things of that nature, just to, maintain some of the status quo. I did notice something interesting, which I'll go over in this as well. But let's have be talking about that from this side. Quick question, as always, can you guys hear me for the people that are currently watching live? Because I always want to make sure that everyone can hear me and that I'm not moving my mouth and nothing is coming out otherwise. So again, still using StreamYard. Make sure this situation and setup works well. I made a couple changes to my little area here, as you can probably see. And yeah, so with that, let's dive on in here. So, excuse me. Let's pop this guy up here. So we have some pictures of this, and I apologize that's. Let me just make this full screen actually, so that we can get a little bit better view of it. So, brand new 3 Series. I'm not sure if I should even be calling this brand new or if I should just call it the LCI 2, because technically speaking, it already had an LCI, for kind of 2023, 2024 swap over where it got the new front side, GAD iDrive 8, and all that. So, but major benefits of this one, it is moving to iDrive 8.5. Quick select options for your climate and seat comfort things. So all that stuff, similar to the 4 Series, is now becoming standard across the board for the 3. Wonderful. Love the way you love it. It is getting a little update on the front end and the back end here. So if I look right here at this little section, it might partially be the lighting itself, but I can't tell if it's actually any more dark here. So I have that one and then the original LCI. It seems like this line right here is a little bit more accentuated, and they may have changed how this front area kind of interacts with the sides, the little front side kind of scuttle area. But it looks like it's much more pronounced here because it's still flat, but I think they may have increased this a little bit more. Otherwise, I'm not really seeing much of a difference between the fronts. They still have the same inlets right here for your brakes, and they still have the side skirt kind of wind curtain on the side. That's unchanged. That seems to be unchanged from what I can tell. Again, I'm looking at this. Not noticing any real changes on the front. I mean, heck, even the headlights. 4 Series at least got a full headlight swap over, which makes absolute perfect sense. Again, it makes sense. It's basically a full LCI. They're doing complete changes. They have the new kind of vertical accent lights in the front. Makes beautiful sense. Interestingly enough, the M3 for 2025 is following the M4 and getting that same setup. Let me pull this thing up real quick. And they pull up these pictures on the bottom here. Hey, it's don't load on me. So yeah, the M3 is now getting those little vertical pieces in the headlights, the vertical kind of daytime running lights. I personally love that. I think it looks great. And I mean, it's otherwise seems to be relatively minor things. One major change that they did do, they're keeping the same kind of power bump for the all-wheel drive version of the M3, similar to the M4, where now they have the standard M3 being at 473, then they have the competition at 503, and now the X-Drive competition is going to be, or in this case, MX-Drive competition, will be 523. So they are giving a little bit of a power bump for the all-wheel drive system. Always good to see. And of course, making it, a worthwhile kind of little update for them. Moving on to more, they are getting some better wheels. I'm, of course, a big fan of all the different wheels that they're kind of adding on, carrying on from the 4 Series again, but I do think they really badly needed the wheel update as they go forward here. And yeah, see, now I'm getting a little bit better visual of this. It seems like they may have, go back to this again. It's actually, that's still the same. I'm not sure. They said it's a new front and rear face, but I'm not really seeing it. They are adding a little M emblem on the front quarter panel here for the the M340, which is nice to see. That was over in Europe only before, but now it's over here in the US, which is nice. They've also been doing that for the X3s as well. And I just think it's a nice little touch. I know a lot of people over here, oh wait, this might just be the European, but they've done it for all the markets. I'd like to see if they actually bring it over here, which would be nice to see. Jump ahead here, going to the back. All right, let's see, we're back for that. Yeah, I'm not seeing any real adjustments here. I think they changed the tailpipes a little bit from the outgoing. Yeah, I think the tailpipes are slightly different. I can't say I'm noticing a massive difference. This line right here and the previous compared to the current one, again, parts of this might just be lighting, but it seems they may have made this line, these body lines right here, a little stronger than what they were previously, which I'm perfectly fine with myself. As for the interesting thing that they mentioned is that they're changing the official power outputs. 4-cylinder, again, so the Turbo 4 is getting the 48-volt mild hybrid, whereas before they had a different mild hybrid system, and only the 6-cylinder got 48-volt mild hybrid. Now it's across the board. Every single car gets that, so reaps the benefits of that. An interesting thing about that, the 4-cylinder is staying at the exact same power levels, so 255, 295 horsepower and torque. But they've done a bump in the horsepower lines for the M340. That's now 386. Whereas if you looked at, let me pull up the previous gen. Do they even have it in here? I think it's just the standard 3. But they used to not include that kind of 11, 12 horsepower bump. I know that Edmunds was doing that for a long time, and it appears they kind of took that over and made that the new peak power. So that's supposed to be with, at least assuming that there's any changes. Again, I haven't read through the entire article to see if they've somehow actually done a bump. They didn't say there's a bump in power, but Edmunds is doing this for us, saying 386 horsepower instead of the 375 of a standard one. So again, that's supposed to be basically a kind of, if you will, e-boost from the 48-volt mild hybrids. And again, just to go over this, 48-volt mild hybrid never drives the wheels with electric-only range. It's simply there as an assist, kind of a torque fill, auto start stop, and in this case, slight power bump in certain circumstances that will come out. So, okay. According to this, they've done some new chassis tuning to improve balance between capable and comfortable. So I'm not sure if that means they're actually making it more compliant, and how much of that's based on only suspension bits, or if they've made the chassis a little bit stiffer as well. I'm not seeing anything about full chassis stiffening. Here's the 48-volt mild hybrid, and yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not 100% sure exactly what they've changed here. That's why I'm simply 8.5 and all that. Now, of course, major change is, of course, not only just the 8.5 for iDrive on the interior, on the exterior, but oh, really, they don't even have the interior. But if I go to the interior pictures here, they have one of the best pictures of the new center dash that I've seen so far. Here we go. I love this picture. So again, this is the new kind of light waterfall that they have in the center here, I think is a fantastic little light piece. I love they're integrating it. This is part of the 4 as well. And they also seem to be making the same changes to the steering wheel that they had before. So again, this being the M steering wheel, gets the little tiny M cutouts on here, more of a flat bottom steering wheel, and they keep the same thickness up top. All the main benefits of that. And I didn't see a picture of the non M Sport, the non M340. But I assume it's going to cover the same thing as the 4 Series. Will switch to a 2-spoke standard wheel, and then have a M steering wheel like this, and then they'll also have the full M steering wheel in the M340 with the contrast stitching around the interior as well. But again, my biggest and most favorite part of this new update is, of course, I wish if I did this, I showed you on this thing over here as well. So I just have my pointer here instead. But again, they're switching to these little, instead of the old bars that you kind of like slide back and forth and lift up and down. Now they switch to this nice little kind of peg style thing that you saw on the X5, X6, and X7. And now you just kind of aim this where you want the air to go, and it does so. So slightly different on the middle here. And again, it's a relatively minor thing. The only thing I can't tell from any of these pictures from the 4 Series or the 3 Series is they used to have ambient lighting underneath the dash over here, and I haven't seen any ambient lighting on that in any of the photos. But they're all during the day, so I mean, are they all placed during the day? So it makes sense that you may not be able to see it. But I'd be curious to see if they took away that extra ambient lighting in here all around. But yeah, that seems to be the main things that really stood out to me in my overview of this. Again, newer dash, new steering wheel options. They have a couple of color options for the interior, so upholstery, all that fun stuff that made the 4 Series a nice little update and LCI for itself. Now, if we're going to put that over to the 3 Series here, again, makes perfect sense. And yeah, so again, right down here, they have the main parts that are going to affect us here in the US. So the main commencements of this will be July of 2024, with production in the US beginning in August. So you'll probably be able to see these things as of September and October of this year if you are looking to order a 2025 model year. With that, again, I'm really curious to see where they're going to be going with all this. I was personally, again, expecting there to be a full 3 Series overhaul, brand new chassis and all that. But again, with the Neue Class and their focus on kind of branching off into their own separate EV only architecture, and then the hybrid and mild hybrid gas models having their own kind of dichotomy now going forward with the Neue Class. I'll be really curious to see where it all goes with this. I still think it's a fantastic business plan. I mean, obviously there's production benefits to sharing the same kind of underlying platform, but nothing's ever optimized the same way like the iX was, or the i3 was back when that was, made. So they are supposed to be coming out with basically the upcoming iX3. That's going to be the first one on the Neue Class, as well as they're bringing back the i3 nameplate according to rumor. Again, that's not confirmed, but they're going to be most likely calling it the i3, and that'll be the 4-door sedan 3-box style rather than the i4 2-box style with a hatchback in the back. So that'll be an interesting thing coming forward. And again, obviously, the more I find out about this as we go forward, I will let y'all know. And yeah, everything in here seems to be following the same patterns. God, I love those bucket seats. So uncomfortable for super long trips, but my God, everything else about them are just amazing. They really hold you in place. If you track it all, it's a fantastic seat, by the way. But yeah, that kind of covers all of it. If there are any questions in the chat, obviously feel free to jump in. I'll highlight them here in the chat itself. And yeah, it's kind of a quick one today, so sorry about that. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of go over this. And again, there's not much new that I can see. And from the Outlook itself, Yeah, I mean, benefit of it for the U.S. is a lot of stuff is being built in Mexico now, which means that we'll be getting it sooner than we would have otherwise. And then with the most of our uh, you know X5s and all them being built in South Carolina as well. South Carolina are also opening up their new sixth generation battery factory. Like, there's a lot of exciting things happening for the U.S. market, and I really look forward to seeing where that all goes uh, as we go. But obviously, thanks again for you guys even checking it out today. I appreciate you guys kind of joining on this nice little quick overview of the 2025 3 Series. Again, not sure if I should call it the LCI or the LCI 2 because it's sort of a secondary one, but the 4 Series in comparison got a update, not an LCI, whereas the 3 Series, they're saying it's the new BMW 3 Series, but it seems more like an LCI to me. Maybe I'm missing something. I don't know. Anyway, let me know what you think. Leave your comments, whether you saw this live or if you see it as a uh, secondary stream after the fact. I'm always curious to see what you guys think. As always, if you found this video helpful, like, comment, share, subscribe, all the usual things. If you like this live chat as I was going forward, please like this video. That gets it out to more viewers and such. And yeah, thanks so much for being with me, and have a wonderful rest of your day. And till next time.